No, you're going to be streaming on Facebook right now.
Okay.
Nope. Hi, Natalia. I will run down. Thanks. Okay. Bye. No.
Write a book.
Just click on his name, and then make a panelist.
It already
Show him over here.
May
And then you
twenty-fifth
can
is
click
Memorial Day, and I see May twenty-fifth listed on.
Oh, right here.
I'm set. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
It's May twenty-fifth.
This one right here, sorry. You click that.
Aren't you working that thing?
The middle one?
With this grid view? No,
This one?
yeah.
Okay.
I'll show everyone that way, so that we can see everyone's face.
Email, so
Okay.
at least it goes in. And it has to be the week following.
Just like control over
So what I'll do
all
is
their
read that
top
when
ones,
we're
you can
seeing
unmic and mic everyone for you.
Okay.
It's my job, you know, to say what the law is.
I am so sorry. It's been a long day. It's only Monday. Okay. We're just heading over? Okay.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
I apologize for the delay. I have children. And I couldn't get in the building.
Happy Mother's
All right. Do you have my copy of the agenda? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I think I might wing it. All right. It being a little past the hour of 5:30, I am going to call the Finance and Personnel Committee meeting to order. Kathleen, would you do the honor? Oh, yes. Okay, this is the first virtual meeting. Thank you all for your patience and willingness to do this way. We will now take the roll.
Alderman Taft.
Here.
Alderman
Finally.
Young. Alderman Mikra. Oh. How do we unmute all?
Unmute. Oh, I have to unmute the people individually? That's right. Okay, sorry, Mikma. Let me do this. Okay, you should be unmuted.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Alderman Tate.
Oh, okay, learning. Alderman Tate?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Alderman West.
Oh, he has the spinny wheel of,
Here.
okay. Oh, okay, I'm learning all these tricks now. Okay, and
Not everybody.
fabulous. All right. So the first meeting is that we will take up the approval of the minutes for the March 9th, 2020 Finance and Personnel Committee meeting. I will now accept a motion in a second. I have to unmute. Is there a way to unmute all? Okay, sorry, I have to unmute you all individually. Okay.
Move to approve.
Do I have a
Second.
Thank you. Fabulous. Okay, all in favor?
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Okay, all opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I would like to direct our attention then to the first item on the agenda. I think I was going to do a little spiel about how this goes. I think How this is going to work for today is that we'll start with any public input, and it looks like we have one person in line for public input, although we have another person who is attending. Is that public input or no? Okay, perfect. So I will take that public input I was going to read the public input, right? That's what I said I was going to do. Okay. And then we will continue with the meeting. Oh, and I brought my laptop instead of my iPad, so I'll need somebody to give me the public input. So we'll read it when it comes to the item, unless you have it printed. Okay.
I can run.
Okay, we'll do that when we come to that particular item then. Okay, so we'll take up the first item. Yeah, if you could grab it or somebody else could grab it, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Okay. First item, item 0265-20, a communication sponsored by Mayor Mason to gain authorization and approval for the City of Racine to join with its partner agencies, Racine County. Oh, you know what? I can hear myself. Is that because they're muted? Okay. I'll say, sorry. To join with its partner agencies, Racine County and Racine Unified School District, in selecting and awarding a 3-year contract for the comprehensive operation of a health clinic at 233 Northwestern Avenue in the City of Racine, serving the employees, retirees, and covered dependents of the 3 partner agencies to Ascension, Wisconsin at Work at yearly costs of $1,446,453 for year 1, $1,557,279 for year 2, and $1,666,245 for year 3, with the City of Racine responsible for 26% of said contractual costs. Further, that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to execute on behalf of the city. So, staff recommendation to the committee is to approve, to gain authorization and approval for the City of Racine to join with its partner agencies as listed above. It's basically exactly the same wording, so we're just going to go with it. All right. Do I have any discussion on this particular motion? I'm looking for hands up. I see no hands up. Mayor, do you have anything you want to add to this? We're good? Oh, whoops, I think I accidentally muted you. I think you were unmuted. One more time, please.
Okay. If Jim Palanek is there, we might want him to give an overview of this.
I would love that.
But I mean, for those of you who don't know, we have the employee clinic that we do in conjunction with RUSD and Racine County. It was discussed indirectly quite a bit with the healthcare changes we made in last year's budget, but it's a place where our employees and retirees can go for low or no cost medical care, and provides a good service to our employees and retirees, and holds the cost down for healthcare for the city as well. I don't know if you want to get a formal motion before City Administrator Palanek gives the overview of it, or if you have any questions for me you'd like me to give before you proceed.
I think presentation first is fine, so I would entertain the presentation at this time.
Madam Chairman, members of the committee, good evening. The City of Racine, along with Racine County and Racine Unified School District, gathered together a 3-way partnership a little over 3 years ago in order to join together to operate a employee wellness health clinic for employees, retirees, and covered dependents. And the facility itself is at 2333 Northwestern Avenue. It's owned by RUSD. And at that point in time, the 3-member partnership went out for an RFP, and they selected a company called HealthStat out of North Carolina. So for approximately the last 3 years, HealthStat has been operating and managing the clinic on behalf of the 3-way partnership. About 2 years ago, the partnership started to realize that there were a number of reasons that we were not fully satisfied with the ongoing operations of the clinic, and particularly because we were not getting the kind of utilization that we really hoped for. Of critical importance, obviously, is getting as many of our employees, our retirees, and their covered dependents to utilize this clinic, because that's the way we keep costs down, that's the way we further improve wellness. So it started to become apparent that it was probably appropriate at the conclusion of the 3-year contract with HealthStat that we should again go out for a request for proposal, an RFP process. So the three members joined together and did that. We received 6 separate responsive bidders. Among those bidders, we narrowed it down through a scoring process to 3 entities that were brought in for interviews, and that was Ascension Wisconsin at Work, QuadMed, and Marathon. And then through an additional scoring process and review that included the presentations, the backgrounds, a full evaluation, and also the costs presented, the 3 members selected Ascension Wisconsin at Work. So what we're asking for is to enter into a new 3-year contract with Ascension Wisconsin at Work, and Chairman had mentioned those yearly costs of $1,446,453 for year 1, $1,557,279 for year 2, $1,667,245 for year 3. The city of Racine makes up 26% of those costs. So in our case, we will be covering $376,078 for year 1, $404,893 for year 2, $433,483 for year 3, for a cumulative cost to the city for the 3 years of $1,214,454. Now, our budget for fiscal year 2020 provides $384,000 for clinic costs, so this is under our budget. Cost to the city from health staff for fiscal year 2019 was just over $376,800. So this is fairly consistent with what we paid last year. Then we also asked these respondents to look at a return on investment for what they would be providing over the course of the 3-year contract. And in the case of Ascension Wisconsin at Work, their return on investment is $316,758 in year 1, $441,913 in year 2, and $544,851 in year 3. So cumulatively, that is $1,303,522 as a return on investment over the 3-year contract, in which the city will pay $1,214,454. So in addition to Ascension Wisconsin at Work being a local healthcare provider and part of the Ascension network and a good community partner as well, there also will be producing a return on investment that actually exceeds our actual cost. So as a result of this, and with the recommendation of the 2 other partners, we are suggesting that the city approve entering into the 3-year relationship with Ascension Wisconsin at Work to operate and maintain our health and wellness clinic at 2333 Northwestern Avenue.
Okay, so I am going to ask for a motion so we can start discussion. So do I have a motion? Oh, I need to unmute. I'm sorry. This is not my strength. We're working on it. Okay. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve item 0265-20.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Excellent. I will now entertain discussion. We have discussion first from Alder Tate.
Actually, I put my hand up to ask city staff to present the item before we started. But I did notice, so these projections are based on increased utilization over the next 3 years. Is that accurate? We're going to get to 60% utilization by year 3?
Actually, these projections in terms of the return on investment are based on past utilization. To the extent we have better utilization, that return on investment will go up substantially.
Okay.
So it's a fairly conservative look at ROI.
All right, because I was just looking at the information in the margins on the item A, 0.03 cost proposal. It talks about we're currently at 20% utilization, assuming utilization over the next 2 years of 20% each year. So that's what I was just projecting to hopefully get up to 60% at a minimum, and then at which point we're getting a significant return on our investment.
Okay. So I will next recognize Alder Young. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were unmuted, but you weren't. Okay, let's do this.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It was stated that this is coming in under budget. What had we originally budgeted for this type of item?
For this year, $384,000. Slightly under, but the fact is it is slightly less than what we thought.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or discussion? Both of you have your hands up, Alder Tate and Alder Young. If you want to take those down, that would be, I'll take all the help I can get. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Seeing no further discussion, I am going to call for a vote. All in favor? Let me unmute you all first. Hold on. There we go. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Motion carries. Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. I can do it the next one. Okay. I'm going to mute everybody back up. Okay, the next item is item 0268-20. It is a communication sponsored by myself on behalf of Chief Howell requesting to appear before the Common Council to discuss applying for and accepting the 2020 Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Fund Grant number 00299. Staff recommendation is to approve applying for and accepting these funds. Fiscal note, the grant is in the amount of $129,955. No city match is required. So do we have anybody who would like to present on this item?
I can talk on it a little bit. I don't think anyone from the police department is on.
Okay.
I know a little bit about this. Police department came to the finance department for a control number a couple of weeks ago. This is a grant direct through the Department of Justice, as it says on here, no city match. And it'll be used for supplies and equipment associated with the coronavirus emergency, various things like PPE and those types of things. That's what they are purchasing.
All right. Do I have a motion?
To approve.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
Excellent. Okay. Move to approve and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Discussion?
All opposed? Oh, I'm so sorry. Gosh, you're right. Do we have, I'm going to get this, you guys. Okay. Do we have any discussion on this item? Thanks. Great. I'm glad we asked. Okay. This is
Keep
very
it
important.
honest.
It is very important. All right. So seeing no discussion, let's, all in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Mute you all back up. Okay. Next item is item 267-20, communication on behalf of Chief Howell requesting to appear before the Common Council to discuss applying for and accepting the 2021 Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant 00302. Recommendation is to approve applying for and accepting this grant. Fiscal note, the grant is in the amount of $46,575 with a required city match of $46,575 from the Racine Police General Fund. This grant will reimburse 50% of the cost of vests in 2021. So, before we move to discuss as a committee, I would like to read the following public input that we received from Alder Perez. So, Alder Perez asks for, let's see, this is on this item, right? Yep, okay. 2020, no, this item, where will the vest be purchased from? Where will the vest be purchased from? What are the specs, and when will they be delivered by? How often do we replace vests? So, we don't have anybody here to present on this item, so I guess I would direct Alder Perez to contact Chief Howell for the specifics before the next council meeting. And I see that the order of the items as listed in the public comment, one of his questions referred to the previous comment, and I did not notice that, but I think that Mr. Palaniuk answered the question, so I'll ask Alder Perez to follow up with Mr. Palaniuk. Okay, so do I have a motion so we can discuss the item? Let me unmute. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Do I have a second? Thank you. All right. Is there any discussion on this item? Okie dokie then. All in favor of this motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right. We will move on to the next item. Okay. Next page, sorry. Just making sure I'm not missing anything here because it would be the way today's going. All right. Item number 248-20, communication sponsored by myself, submitting amendments to the Household Hazardous Waste Agreements to reflect 2020 approved charges. Staff recommendation is that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign amendments to the Household Hazardous Waste Agreement with participating surrounding communities. Fiscal note, the Household Hazardous Waste rate has been changed from $4.40 to $3 for 2020. I believe we have General Manager Keith Haas here to discuss this item, so take it away.
Thank you, Natalia. Madam Chairman, members of the committee. So the Wastewater Commission last year approved a rate reduction from $4.40 to $3. We have intermunicipal agreements with the surrounding communities, and the wastewater utility is not allowed to enter into those agreements. So back in the day when they were established, the city of Racine is the party that's doing these intermunicipal agreements. So every time there's a rate change, we have to have an amendment to those contracts. So this would be amendment number 7 to the Household Hazardous Waste Agreements, and they have been disseminated to the villages surrounding. Some of them are back. So we need the common council to consider this item and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign these amendments.
All right. Do I have, so I'm going to open it up for a motion so we can discuss. So do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Moved and seconded. Alder Young, you have a question.
Yes. Could the commissioner go in more in depth regarding why there's a reduction in the rate from $4.40 to $3?
Yes, so the philosophy when we established this back in 2005 was that the program should pay for itself and it shouldn't lose money or make money. The past few years, the rate has been higher than it needed to be, and the commission refused to reduce it. We now have a large surplus, and I was able to convince the commission to reduce it for 2020, and they chose to reduce it to $3 to reduce some of the surplus.
Thank you.
Okay. Do I have any other discussion? Okay. Alder Tate.
Thank you. So with that surplus, what are your options to spend that beyond simply reducing the rate?
Well, we could have frequent events, like one every week. We could collect latex paint instead of non-latex paint. We could redo the parking lot. It's an $80,000 to $100,000 redo, and we have $200,000 available. So we could fill all the cracks. The asphalt parking lot that we purchased from Sam's Club is now 30 years old and in a state of disrepair. I've held off repaving it to the tune of $100,000 because I didn't feel it was appropriate for 7 events per year. So those are the options. We could give out more free paint dry for lead paint at home. Pretty much we're collecting anything a resident brings to us from any of the surrounding communities that's considered household hazardous waste. So unless we could advertise a lot more in the Journal Times and spend money on advertising, but we put like a sticker on the paper, I think on Wednesdays and Saturdays preceding the event. So right now we're spending about $10,000 in advertising, and we're taking in about $200,000 a year. So if you have ideas where you'd like to spend it, let me know.
Yeah. Are the funds generated by the Household Hazardous Waste Program restricted to expenditures for the functioning of the hazardous waste program?
Likely, they're at the pleasure of the wastewater commission to spend the funds in an appropriate fashion for the 7 participating communities.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Do I have any other discussion? Alder Young, your hand is still up. I'm happy to take another, okay, just checking. Cool. Any other discussion? Seeing none. I think I'm going to transition because it's come to my attention we're getting a bit of an echo from some of this. I'm going to unmute you one at a time and call the roll for these votes from now on for the rest of the meeting, if that's acceptable. Okay? So I am going to ask that if you are in favor, please signify by saying aye. Alder Mi'kmaq.
Aye.
Thank you. Alder Tate.
Aye.
Thank you. Alder West.
Aye.
Thank you. Alder Young.
Aye.
Thank you. It's just the order that's on the screen, so that's the order I'm going in. So we have no opposition there, so motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Haas.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is item 0269-20. It is sponsored by myself on behalf of the city clerk, submitting the bid received for printing the common council proceedings and legal notices for the period of June 1st, 2020 through May 31st, 2021. Staff recommendation is to award the bid to the Journal Times, they being the sole and lowest responsible bidder. Fiscal note, prices have increased for published advertisements to 46 cents per line for the first insertion, 45 cents per line for each subsequent insertion, and $15.50 per page, and bound books, $67.25 per book. So I will now entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Do I have a second? All right. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing no discussion, I will call the roll again on this particular item. Alder Mi'kmaq.
Aye.
Thank you. Alder Tate.
Aye.
Thank you. Alder West.
Aye.
Thank you. Alder Young.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Motion carries. Next item, item 0215-20, communication sponsored by myself on behalf of the City Attorney's Office, submitting the claim of Daryl Johnson for consideration for disallowance. Staff recommendation is that the claim of Daryl Johnson be disallowed. The fiscal note is none. No applicable fiscal note at this time. So I will entertain a motion to discuss. Oh, sorry, I think, one more time, please.
I'm sorry, move to approve, item 0215-20.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion? I didn't do a presentation for this one. So before we get to discussion, I'd like to hear from the staff.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Daryl Johnson, who resides in Caledonia, filed a claim with the city asking for $1,222 in damages, allegedly arising from what he suspected was a snowplow hitting his vehicle that was parked in the 300 block of Wickham Boulevard back on January 24th. He didn't see it happen. He had no witnesses who saw it happen. He just suspected that the damage to his tail light and the scratch on his vehicle was probably done by a city snowplow, because he actually had no evidence that a city snowplow caused this damage. No witnesses were recommending denial of the claim.
Okay, are there any questions or items for discussion? All right, I see no discussion, so we will call the roll for this last vote here. So Alder Mi'kmaq.
Aye.
Alder Tate. Okay. Alder West,
Aye.
Alder Young.
Aye.
All right. Motion carries. So, let's see. Oh, there is one more item, of course. Very important item, actually. So the ultimate item on the this particular agenda is item number 260-20, direct referral communication from myself requesting that the Finance and Personnel Committee determine the day of the week and the hour at which it will meet for the next year. Staff recommendation is that the Finance and Personnel Committee will meet at 5:30 p.m. on the listed dates attached. Does everybody have access to that attachment? Yeah, okay. So, so far this year, actually, let's have a motion before we do discussion. So, would anybody like to make a motion? Okay. Do I have a second? Sorry, I had to unmute everyone.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, so I wanted to discuss this item because the Finance and Personnel Committee has historically been meeting at 5 o'clock, but I know that for some working folks, it can be difficult to get here at 5 o'clock on the weekdays. So is there anybody that objects to the 5:30 on Mondays? Is this a difficulty for anyone? Okay.
I don't.
Oh, sorry. One more time.
I'm sorry. I don't object. I just want to express appreciation to staff who will be staying a half an hour later.
I appreciate that. Is there any other discussion? All right. Alder Tate.
Yes. Thank you. So I'm just looking at dates here and trying to recall what the Common Council dates that were amended during or at least identified during the last budget for meeting and not meeting, and trying to make sure that, not that we're necessarily aligning with them, but that we're perhaps at least embracing the spirit of that schedule, so that we don't end up meeting more frequently than we would have as a result of those reduced frequency. I think it's particularly in the summer. So I note that we're not meeting at all in June. We're meeting once in August and then twice in July. I was wondering what the rationale is for having 2 meetings in 1 month as opposed to, one during that lean month to address whatever may be coming up before the next Common Council meeting that August.
Okay, Mr. City Attorney, do you have a?
I just wanted to tell you what the ordinance says, that all committees meet the week following a regular Common Council meeting. So the only thing you're deciding is the day of the week and the time of the meeting. Committee meetings will always be the week following a regular Common Council meeting. So whatever schedule is attached is probably not correct, frankly, because it says May 25th, which is Memorial Day, and I'm thinking you're probably not going to meet on Memorial Day. So,
okay. Okay, so I guess, would anyone like to make an amendment? Then I think the rationale, it was unclear to me that was what the ordinance said, and I think the part of the rationale for this schedule was that we would be meeting before the Common Council meeting, so that if there was an item that needed to go through Finance and Personnel before the committee meetings, it would be before. But if that's the ordinance, that's the ordinance. It's after. So I think that was just something we had confusion about. So I see 2 hands. Are those? I will recognize Alder Tate. Nope. Alder Young, did you have a comment? Okay. So would anyone like to amend this then? Instead of the attached schedule, then we have the schedule following the ordinance, and the schedule will be revised?
So the motion would be Mondays at 5:30, presumably.
Okay, so for the purposes of this item, we are going to amend this to just say 5:30 p.m. Mondays following the council meeting, correct?
I'm not even sure you need to say that.
Not even that? Okay. Mondays at 5:30 PM. Okay.
Should ask if somebody's willing to make that amendment.
All right. Is anybody willing to make that amendment?
I'd be willing.
Alder Young. Oh, whoops. Stop unmuting yourselves. I'm getting to it. Okay.
Sorry. I'd be willing to make that amendment.
Okay. All right. Is there any discussion on the amendment? So should we have a vote on the amendment? Okay, let's do a roll call, vote on the
I'd like
amendment.
to second the amendment first.
Oh, thank you. Are you volunteering?
I just did, yeah.
Excellent, thank you. All right, let's, all in
Chair
favor of the
Tapp.
amendment, say aye. Oh, yes?
Is there any consideration in the Memorial Day observation that was made?
I believe that schedule is in error.
Well, the meetings would still be scheduled for Monday, but you can make individual alterations when there's that sort of event.
Okay,
Normally it would go to Tuesdays. That might be tough next time, but we can talk about that at some other point.
okay.
The two other committees meet on Tuesday.
The two other committees meet on Tuesday, so for this, do we know if Monday the 25th that's the one following the next council meeting, right? Okay. So, okay, I see a lot of hands. I'm going to recognize the mayor here.
Yeah, I can lower my hand. It was just I wanted to flag this so that we're not trying to meet on Memorial Day. That's all.
Okay, excellent. Alder Mi'kmaq.
Can we just clarify how this amendment is affecting? Because if we're saying Mondays at 5:30, in my mind, that means we're meeting every Monday at 5:30. So maybe I'm just misunderstanding how this is affecting the original motion or the original item.
So the ordinance says the committee meetings will always be the week following the regular common council meetings. So all you're doing is deciding what day and time of the committee meeting week that the committee will be held.
Okay. So the ordinance already designates what Mondays we're meeting. We're just determining a time, basically, in a day.
Designates what week you'll meet.
What week,
But
right.
not the day or the time.
Determining the day and the time.
All right, just want to clarify.
Thank you. Alder Tate, did you have another comment?
Yes. So just according to ordinance, there's nothing that will prohibit the chair from either canceling or rescheduling a meeting, correct?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so when do you know, Mr. Attorney, when I would have to cancel? I mean, it seems like we should be doing that while we're all here.
I'm not sure there's any other days during the year that Monday's a holiday. I don't think so this year. Labor Day is the first week of the month, so you could decide right now what you want to do next time. Make a decision later. I would, so the two options presumably are to schedule on Tuesday or skip the meeting.
Tuesday, what about, could I schedule on a different day than Tuesday?
You could, the week of the 25th, so Tuesday the 26th, both Public Safety and Licensing and Public Works and Services meet.
Okay.
So you'd have to, because we can only use this room
right.
for these meetings, it would have to be at a later time if you wanted to do it on Tuesday. But
okay. Does anyone have a problem meeting on the Wednesday the 27th?
I know Planning, Heritage, and Design may meet, is tentatively scheduled to meet at 4:30. I don't know if there's anything even scheduled to be on the agenda at this point, but it might tie up the WebEx license at that time.
What do you want, do you have a preference?
Well, Wednesday at 5:30, because that'd be an hour after. Would that give them enough time, you think?
I'm not aware of what might be on the agenda. I just know we thought we would have a half-hour meeting before the last council meeting, and
Yeah.
it did not go that briefly. So maybe 6 o'clock to be safe.
We could do that.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to skip?
Fine with me.
Okay, let us, so let's just vote again. Okay, so the amendment is discussing the date and the time according to ordinance. So we had a motion and a second on the amendment. So I'm just going to unmute everybody because that's fun and games. Can we vote on the amendment? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay. All opposed? Great. All right, so we have to still vote on the motion, but there's discussion about the May 25th meeting. So I would propose, or I guess, does anyone want to propose Wednesday at 6, Wednesday, the May 28th at 6 to be the next meeting?
27th.
I'm sorry, 27th? Okay. Alder Mikma.
I will make a motion to amend the schedule to meet on Wednesday, May 27th, as opposed to the 25th.
Okay,
6
thank
o'clock.
you. Thank you. Do I have a second? I see Alder Tate with a hand up.
It was not to second the motion. It was to just make a comment before we got too far into this discussion.
Yep.
I'll leave.
Well,
I'll yield to anyone who wants to make a second.
okay. Alder Young, would you like to second that?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, Alder Tate, you are recognized.
Thank you. I guess I'll speak against the amendment because ultimately, as the chair, you will be able to determine when the next meeting occurs. It's not necessarily something that requires the committee to say, we move to have it on this day. You, being empowered as the chair, have the ability to simply make that call on the week of the 25th to say, we're going to meet at 6 p.m. at this time or some other time.
All right. How about we say I'm going to email y'all tomorrow?
Well, there is a motion
Great.
and a second on the floor, so I think we have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor of Wednesday at 6 o'clock, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. That was an
No,
unnecessary.
for the record.
Okay, cool. And all opposed, Judd? No? Okay. And it doesn't matter anyway because I can still decide what I'm going to do, so it's fine. Great. Thank you all for your input. I appreciate it greatly. All right. So I was trying to
You have to vote on the motion.
Oh, okay. Let's vote on the main motion then for the date and time, just because it's important, and I will do a roll call for this one. So we're going to vote that for the final Monday at 5:30, accepting all of this May 25th business. So cool. Mr. Mikma.
Aye.
Alder Mikma. Thank you. Alder Tate.
Aye.
Alder West.
Aye.
Alder Young. I apparently improperly muted you, so. Is that an aye, a no?
It's an aye.
All right, fantastic, thank you. Okay, well, that was unnecessarily complicated. I think I will now entertain a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting. So,
Move to adjourn.
Second.
do I have a second? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for your patience in this first Finance Committee meeting on WebEx. I
Well done,
appreciate you
chairing.
all.
Well done chairing your first meeting.
Chairwoman.
Good job, Chair. Good
you,
job,
Chairwoman.
Chairman Taft.
You all are very kind. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, great. All right, so I X us out. All right.